Welcome to Group 4's case review of the Hudepohl Brewing Company. At Hudepohl, we, in our analysis, determined and identified a handful of challenges that this company is experiencing, some of which are included here on the slide. The first is the geographic isolation, or kind of the idea being locked to one specific market in Cincinnati, Ohio. They're facing stiff competition related to the national brands such as Anheuser-Busch and Miller Brewing Company. They're running on old equipment and outdated business processes and capital structure. They're also facing stiff advertising costs in comparison to their competitors. Some of the things that have changed in the industry are the consolidation of brewing companies. They've reduced from 750 in 1933 down to 44 in 1978. There's been an advancement in technology where they've gone from a three-piece can to a two-piece aluminum can, and then also the shift in customer preference from a popular to a more of a premium beer taste and flavor, and then the availability of the brew from bar rooms to food stores and convenience stores.
So as a group, we found some competitive trends and future prospects. Some of the trends and threats were Miller aggressively pushing for a greater market share. From 1978 to 1979, they had a 226% growth in Cincinnati for market share, getting them at 23.4% market share behind Hudepohl at 24.1%. Also, the slow-growing market in Cincinnati market was only growing about 1% annually on average. There was also a shift in beer preference. It changed from 48% premiums and only 30% popular and 10% lights, which was the majority of what Hudepohl was. It also had no current super premium product for Hudepohl, and they really struggled with embracing the costs for implementing a super premium product. And then also the most popular beer in the United States at the time, Anheuser-Busch, was coming to Cincinnati, which was also a threat. Lastly, some optimism from it. Strong local following, especially in Cincinnati, a lot of brand loyalty, which would help them. And then also they had a lot of available capacity with existing assets and workforce to expand.
When looking at the three critical value chain activities of brewing, bottling, and distribution, we've determined that the company would be at a disadvantage to the industry competition in two of the three activities. We analyze these by looking at the relative costs of each activity versus the relative costs in the brewing industry by adding up the 1978 cost and dividing those costs by the production of 343,000 barrels per year. The first activity, brewing, was actually at a cost advantage of $8.09 per barrel versus $9 industry average. The second activity of bottling was a cost disadvantage slightly of $16.95 a barrel versus $16.91 a barrel industry average. And then finally, distribution was at a significant cost disadvantage of $14.45 a barrel versus $6.71 a barrel industry average. Therefore, the most significant disadvantage the company faces is the distribution activity.
Looking at the profit by critical activity, brewing the beer only was a small profit of 66 cents per barrel. Brewed and bottled, however, yielded a much better margin, 33.44 per barrel. Brewed and delivered was 16.23. And brewed, bottled, and delivered was the most profitable at 43.02. So it shows the industry shift to preferring bottled or packaged beer available at supermarkets. But it also highlights that Hudepohl really needs to fix their distribution channel, which is eating up their cost advantage in brewing the beer and making what should be their most profitable, the brewed and delivered, should be more profitable for them, but they really need to fix that problem in distribution channels.
All right, as a group, we talked about future strategy recommendations, and we came to the conclusion that Hudepohl doesn't really have the plant capacity, market share, or demand to compete with the top 10 brewers just by pumping out the volume into the marketplace. That being said, we agreed that it still did have the chance of achieving the 10% sales growth set by Bob Pohl. And in order to do that, we'd recommend that they continue to focus on the Cincinnati market. Cincinnati's been their bread and butter. It's where they've got a strong following, and they should really tap into that. And by growing their market share in Cincinnati, they can reach that sales goal. In order to do that, they need to adapt with the changing market and build products for the local following. They need to tap into that 25% German population in Cincinnati, bring in some German products, and evolve with the different changes in taste. And to do that, they need to bring in some premium and super premium products, things that don't cost them much more to make, but can really bring in the sales and possibly bring in more market share. And in order to do this, they can also consider making acquisitions, acquiring companies like Olympia that has that German beer, or even acquiring Scheuling that has a premium beer in that local Cincinnati market. Those are smaller companies that they could really acquire to help quicken the rate of achieving these different strategies we recommend.